Hi everybody, this is a day trade recap. Today is January 11th. I only worked with one stock today. It was TSRI, and pretty much I set them up during pre-market. I actually exited just a little bit after opening bell on it, but I took two trades mostly during pre-market. And this was an earnings play. This stock, this company had really good earnings, like unreal good earnings, and it's a super nano float. I mean, it's a really low float. I don't like to trade this type of low float after opening bell much, because of the halts and the crazy erratic movement that you'll get after opening bell. But it's usually a really good play if you find something like this during pre-market, because you don't have the halts, the volume's a little lighter, not as crowded, a lot easier to trade these. So I knew the news was good. It had made a move after hours yesterday. I guess the rumor came out on the earnings, and it had, from the just under $9 range all the way up to over 12, pretty quickly on that after hours. I didn't see that. But when I came in this morning and I heard this hitting around 6 o'clock this morning, this was starting to alert me. So it gave me a little bit of time. I put some lines on here based on this move. Normally I'll use one of these red lines, and I've talked about that in other videos. Let me see if you can see one of these red line marks. But in this case, I actually found several candles that tagged this level, and so I felt like that was where I needed the click. That's where I put my top click for my target, and my bottom click was down here at this low. Well, actually not the low. It was, hold on, let me change this just a little bit to a 30-day, so you can see where 1 minute 30-day, where I clicked. So I kind of basically tagged that green line. That's what I like to do. So up here was my top click, down here was my bottom click, and then that put the rest of my lines on here, my target lines, except for this white line. I always have to check my daily chart just to see if there's any weird, I actually did this after my first trade, but I'll show you in just a minute. But let me go to my daily chart and show you what that white line is, because you need to kind of check and see what levels there will be. Like we had this purple line is my VWAP, and it did a sharp angle here, and then it did another one of those right here. So I marked that level, the top of that sharp angle on the VWAP, because I knew, hey, it's done that twice. That's going to be a resistance level, which means it's going to be my target, ultimate target, hopefully for the day if things continue. So here I am. I've got my lines on here. I didn't get in right at the first signal, but this thing kept alerting on my scanner. So I got in here after I drew my lines, and I knew that I had enough room to this first level, right? I always go line to line, right? It has to prove each level, because there's no guarantees really after it hits a target, the way I do things. But doing things this way, you're going to get really good range if you plan them out like this. So that's why I trade line to line, getting in at 11.24, getting out at 11 or 12.26. So, a dollar a share on that first trade in pre-market, really good. And there was plenty of volume on that one. It was lovely. And so then I just watched to see how it was going to react to this level. I also used the Z-score at this point. Right here when it first tagged my target, my Z-score, this red line or pink line, whatever, it was right here at this yellow level, which is a deviation from the VWAP. It's what that indicates. And whenever I'm really close to that, I know that it has to sell down, come down to support. Well, it came down to the 20 and it popped back up, and it just did some choppy stuff. So at that point, I didn't get in on any of these signals because my Z-score was pointing down, and it wanted to come down lower. So what I look for here, and this little purple line, the reason I put that in there was that corresponded with this purple VWAP flat low. It was flat for a long time there. So I kind of marked that, and I thought, well, it'll find support there hopefully and pop up. And sure enough, it did. And that's right about when my Z-score did this sharp angle. So I got in here at 12.05, and I was going to use this daily level that I drew. I showed you how I got this white line as my target, because I knew that was going to be significant. And being such a low flow and so close to opening bell, I was waiting for it to get there. It took a while. but everything was still pointing up there. And right before, right at opening bell, I decided to put my sell order in a little bit below that line because it's such a nano float. I felt like it might not fill my order, so I undershot it a little, right around $14.10. I got out. So, I made over $2 a share on that one. So it was really good. It was a good play. And then it hit my white line, even though I was out a little bit less than that because I was afraid, right? Such a nano float. It's really tricky to trade these when they're so nano. And then it hit that line again with a huge wick. Now I want to show you these wicks. This candle it went, it was $12 and 60 something all the way up to $14.29. That's a huge candle wick. And it was more or less the same, not quite as dramatic here, but pretty close. I mean, this was another one that was just, when you have two big wicks like that, that's major rejection at that level. So I knew game over at that point. I kind of continued to watch it, but I didn't think, usually these earning plays, they do this. People will take profits but you might get another play out of it. I don't know. I don't like to play these nanos after opening bell if I can help it, because they halt a lot and they're very crowded. They just don't have a lot of shares available for trading, so it's tricky. But you can usually trade them really well during pre-market because it's less crowded. You don't have to worry about halts, and things are a lot cleaner and more clear to trade. So had good volume during pre-market. So this little first initial trade, even though I was a little bit late getting in because I was drawing my lines and stuff, but I saw the range. There was the dollar range, and then it gave me another couple dollars over here. So it's another tricky day. Let me see what the NASDAQ's doing. We're actually green on the NASDAQ today. The Dow's red. So far today, I don't know what it's going to do later, but I may find another trade here on a different stock. But that's all I'm doing for now. I'm not going to push my luck because it's just a choppy day. And anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. If you need any help getting, understanding how to draw white lines for your daily target and getting these other lines on here, these green and yellow lines, which are super accurate also, or good buy signals, like these blue arrows are really, really good. The Z-score is awesome. If you need any help with indicators, or if you need a scanner that will give you these stocks as they're just setting up so you don't miss the move, let me know. I can help you with all of that. So I'm a great mentor. So if you need any help with any of that, let me know. And I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, let me know and we'll talk soon.